What if I told you? The idea of passive income is one of the biggest financial lies on the internet. Every day, you see people online talking about how they make money while they sleep. They show screenshots of earnings. They talk about freedom, travel, and living life on their own terms. It looks effortless. It looks instant, and most importantly, it looks achievable for anyone. But here is the part they do not show you. The years of work. The failed attempts. The long nights with no results. The constant stress of not knowing if anything will ever pay off. Passive income has been turned into a fantasy. A shortcut, a magic formula that promises financial freedom without real effort. And that is exactly why so many people fall for it. Because deep down, everyone wants the same thing. Freedom from the daily grind. Freedom from working a job they do not enjoy. Freedom to live life on their own terms. So when someone says, you can earn money without working, it feels like the answer to everything. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Passive income is not about doing nothing. In fact, most people who successfully build passive income streams work harder than ever before they ever see a single dollar. They spend months, sometimes years, building something that might not even work. And even when it does work, it still needs attention, maintenance, and improvement. So why does nobody talk about this? Because the truth is not as attractive as the dream. It is much easier to sell the idea of easy money than it is to explain the reality of delayed rewards and consistent effort. But if you truly want to understand how money works, if you actually want to build income streams that last, then you need to stop believing the illusion and start understanding the truth. Because once you see passive income for what it really is, everything changes. The way you think about money changes, the way you approach work changes, and most importantly, your chances of actually achieving financial freedom increase dramatically. So before you chase passive income any further, ask yourself this one question. Are you ready to learn the truth, even if it is not what you expected? The biggest problem with passive income is not that it is impossible. The problem is that most people completely misunderstand what it actually means. When people hear the words passive income, they imagine a life where money flows in automatically without any effort. They picture setting something up once and then enjoying endless income forever. No stress, no work, no responsibilities. But this expectation is where everything starts to go wrong. Because in reality, that version of passive income almost never exists. Let's break this down in a simple way. There are generally 3 types of income. First, active income. This is where you trade your time directly for money. A job is the most common example. You work for a certain number of hours, and you get paid for those hours. Second, semi-passive income. This is where you build something once, but you still need to maintain it. For example, running a YouTube channel, managing a blog, or owning a small business. These can generate income over time, but they still require consistent effort. And third, truly passive income. This is income that requires little to no ongoing work, like dividends from investments or interest from savings. But even here, you needed time, money, or effort up front to reach that stage. The problem is that most beginners jump straight to the third category without understanding the first 2. They expect immediate results without putting in the necessary work. So they start a YouTube channel and quit after a few weeks because they are not getting views. They try drop and give up when sales do not come instantly. Invest small amounts and expect huge returns in a short time. And when none of this works, they assume passive income is a scam. But the truth is, the system is not broken. Their expectations are. Passive income is not about avoiding work. It is about changing the type of work you do, and when you do it, you either work now and benefit later, or you work later and stay stuck in the same cycle. Most people choose the second option without even realizing it, and that is why they never escape it. Until they understand this one simple shift, they will keep chasing shortcuts that do not exist. So what is passive income really? Let's strip away all the hype and explain it. In the simplest way possible, Passive income is income that continues to come in without you needing to work on it every single day. But that does not mean you did not work for it at all. A better way to understand passive income is this: it is effort that is separated from time. With active income, your effort and time are directly connected. You work 1 hour, you get paid for 1 hour. If you stop working, the income stops. But with passive income, you break that connection. You put in a large amount of effort up front, and then that effort continues to pay you over time. Think of it like planting a tree at the beginning. You spend time preparing the soil, planting the seed, watering it, and protecting it. For a long time, you see no results. It feels like nothing is happening, but slowly, the tree starts to grow, and eventually, it begins to produce fruit. Now imagine that tree keeps producing fruit every season, even when you are not actively working on it every day. That is passive income. But here is the key point. You cannot skip the planting phase. Most people want the fruit without planting the tree, and that is why they fail. Let's make this even clearer with a few examples. If you create content online, like videos or blogs, you are investing time and effort up front. At first, there is no return, but over time, your content can keep generating views and income long after it is created. If you invest money, you are putting your capital to work. Over time, through growth and compounding, your money starts earning more money. If you build a business system, you are creating processes that can run with less involvement from you over time. In all these cases, you are using leverage. Leverage is what makes passive income possible. It allows one action to produce results multiple times. Instead of working once and getting paid once, you work once and get paid repeatedly. But leverage only works if there is something valuable behind it. Value is what drives income. So instead of asking, how can I make passive income? A better question is, what can I build today that will continue to create value tomorrow? Because that is where real passive income begins. Here is something most people never think about. The real reason they never achieve passive income is not because of lack of ideas. It is not because they do not have opportunities. And it is not even because they do not have enough money to start. The real reason is inconsistency. Most people start strong. They get excited. They take action for a few days or even a few weeks. But when results do not come quickly, their motivation disappears, and once motivation is gone, they stop. They tell themselves they will come back later. They look for something easier, something faster, something that promises quicker results, and that cycle repeats over and over again. Start, stop, start again, stop again. But passive income does not come from starting, it comes from continuing. Think about it. Every successful YouTube channel, every profitable investment portfolio, every strong online business, all of them were built by people who stayed consistent. Long after others quit, they kept going when there were no views. They kept investing when returns were small. They kept building when no one was watching. That is the real secret. Not a strategy, not a hack, not a shortcut, just consistency. And here is the most important part. Consistency is something you can control. You may not control how fast your income grows, but you can control whether you keep showing up or not. And that one decision can completely change your financial future. Because in the world of passive income, the winners are not the smartest, they are not always the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. So if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: stay consistent long enough, and the results will come. Let's look at a real-world example to understand how passive income actually works in practice. Take the journey of a content creator building a YouTube channel. At the beginning, there is no audience, no subscribers, no income. The creator spends hours planning videos, recording content, editing clips, writing scripts, and learning new skills. Each video takes a lot of time and effort to produce. And for months, maybe even a year, nothing significant happens. Views are low, engagement is low, income is almost zero. This is the stage where most people quit. because from the outside, it looks like failure. But, in reality, this is the foundation. Every video created during this period is an asset. It may not be valuable right now, but it has the potential to become valuable later. Now let's fast forward. After consistent effort, one video starts to gain traction, then another. The algorithm begins to recommend the content to more viewers. The channel starts growing. And here is where things change. Videos that were uploaded months ago continue to get views every single day, even when the creator is sleeping, traveling, or taking a break. Those videos are still working in the background. They generate ad revenue, affiliate income, and sometimes even business opportunities. Now, it starts to look like passive income. But it is important to remember what came before. Without the initial effort, there would be no system generating income today. Let's look at another example. Investing in the stock market. Someone decides to invest regularly over time. At first, the returns are small. It may even feel like nothing is happening. But as the investments grow and compound, something powerful begins to happen. The returns start generating their own returns. This is where passive income becomes more visible. But again, this is not instant. It requires discipline, consistency, and patience over many years. Another example is building a digital product. A person spends weeks or months creating an online course or digital tool. Once it is built, it can be sold repeatedly without needing to recreate it every time. Over time, it can generate income while requiring only occasional updates or support. These examples all share one thing: they all started with hard work before they became passive. And that is the truth most people never see. Passive income is not where you begin. It is where you arrive after doing the work most people are not willing to do. So what should you actually learn from all of this? The biggest lesson is simple. Passive income is not a shortcut to getting rich. It is the result of building something valuable over time. If you try to treat it like a quick way to make money, you will almost always fail. But if you treat it like a long-term strategy, it can completely change your financial future. First, you need to understand that time is your biggest asset. Most people underestimate how powerful consistency can be. They start something, do it for a few weeks, and when they do not see results, they quit. But the people who succeed are the ones who stay consistent even when nothing seems to be working. They understand that results take time. Second, you need to focus on building assets. An asset is anything that can produce value or income over time. This could be content, like videos or articles. It could be investments, like stocks or real estate. It could even be a skill that allows you to earn more in the future. The goal is not just to make money. The goal is to build something that continues to generate value again and again. Third, you must think long term. Most people think in terms of days or weeks, but passive income requires thinking in terms of months and years. The effort you put in today may not pay off immediately, but if you stay consistent, it can pay off massively in the future. Fourth, understand the role of leverage. Leverage is what separates active income from passive income. It allows your effort to scale. Instead of earning from 1 hour of work, you earn from something that continues to work for you over time. This is where real growth happens. And finally, accept this truth. There is no passive income without effort at some stage. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either misleading you or hiding the hard work behind the scenes. But here is the good news. Once you understand how passive income really works, you can start building it the right way. You stop chasing unrealistic promises. You stop jumping from one idea to another, and you start focusing on building something that actually lasts. Because in the end, passive income is not about avoiding work, it is about making your work matter long after you have done it.